Hello, you. Yes, you. Do you want to draw like me?
No.
What, you don't know who I am? Well, obviously, I'm just the best artist ever. First of all, program, Krita. Canvas size, this. This is probably too much, but this is what I use. Deal with it. You're gonna want to select your pencil 2 tool. There you go, I go up here. All the way to black. And then you're going to select your opacity as between around 50 and 75. And your pen size will depend on your canvas size. Also, if you have it available, pressure sensitivity is your best friend. You're going to want to create a new layer and actually start drawing on this one. Draw a circle. Wow. Such a beautiful circle. It doesn't really matter. Draw a line through it. You could also do a line through the middle. You could draw a line through this way. It really just depends on which way you want your character to look. For this video, I'm drawing 3/4 because it's my favorite. And then you're going to want to draw 2 lines. Depending on how skinny your character is or the facial structure of your character, you might want to draw it differently, but for this video's purposes, I'm just going to draw it like this. Then you're going to kind of want to adjust the head size. You're going to want to sketch out a new version of it. And there's your general facial structure. Next up, the shoulders, you're going to want to draw them either slanted this way or slanted this way. Never draw them straight. This. Wrong. Because I am a fan of dynamic poses. Draw a curve. This is your chest. Draw another curve the opposite direction. This is your torso. Draw your chest. Typically, what I'll end up doing is doing something like this, where the front side follows this curve and the back side is straight lines. You're going to want to draw it like this, because that's closer to what the ribcage actually looks like. Next up, you're going to want to draw where the hips are. If you're fucking lame, you can have this line parallel to your top line. But if you're cool and hip with the kids, you can draw it perpendicular. This will just make it look more dynamic. Next, connect the body to the head. For the side that's facing the back of the head, just connect the back of the head. For the side that's connecting towards the front of the character's face, honestly, I don't really have good advice. Draw 2 circles. This will allow you to actually draw your shoulders. Draw 2 circles at the end of them. I want to give this character feminine hips, so I'm going to give them feminine hips. This is all about adjusting your character's proportions. So for here, I'm going to have the character have their hand up here, and their hand up down here. I've seen people who will draw a line from here, and then draw a line in the center to help with their proportioning. And it does work sometimes. I'm just not a fan of it. Usually, I'll do something like this. And honestly, I'll just usually end up fixing the proportions later. Keep it dynamic. Keep these lines nice and curved. Never draw boxes. We never want this. We always want this. And this also applies to the hand. Do start off with a box, but then draw a triangular shape and curve this. This triangular shape is the muscle that connects your thumb to the rest of your hand. You can do whatever you want with this after. I'm going to draw my character doing a little piece. For this, I would suggest grouping both of the fingers up together. So these are the pinky and the ring finger, and then these are going to be your pointer and middle finger. And then just separate these two. Again, keep it all nice and dynamic and flowy unless you're trying to draw a stiff character. But in this case, we're not. So keep it nice and dynamic and flowy. This is some of the proportion fixing I mentioned earlier. And realistically, you want your full hand to be about as big as your head. So let's go ahead, change this up a bit. And there you go. For the other arm, since I want the wrist to be about here and to go off the camera, I'll just draw a line here and then kind of draw an outwards movement of where the forearm is. And then draw this curved shape to indicate that that part of the drawing is off the screen. I personally don't like cutting it off at the canvas border, but that's just me personally. Next up with the face, right around the bottom of this circle that you drew, you want to draw the nose, and between the nose and the chin, about halfway, you want to draw the mouth indication. As for the eyes, somewhere around, probably the top of the nose, you want to draw the bottom of the eyes, about halfway between each side. This is going to change based off of your perspective, but for this perspective, this is just how this works. For ears, you want to draw the top of the ear to match with the top of the eye, and the bottom of the ear to match with the bottom of the nose. In this case, the other ear isn't visible, and on top of that, this ear will probably also be covered up. Next up for the nose, you're going to want to draw a line up here. This is going to kind of determine the top of your eye. Next, you're going to want to draw a line. You can do different nose shapes as well. So a hooked nose like this, or you can do a bun nose like this. But in my case, I'm just going to draw a line. For the bottom of the nose, you want to go in, out, in, out. And then for the top of the eye, again, match it around with this curve in the nose. I usually draw the top lid, draw the iris of the eye, and then close it off from there. For the mouth, I usually draw this kind of little tiny smiley shape, and then draw the points at which the mouth ends. I realize this face doesn't match the body, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw tits. And then for bigger bodies, you want to draw kind of this circular shape. You never want to go like this unless you're drawing someone pregnant. Otherwise, you want to draw it kind of curved. And this may take some getting used to if you're used to drawing skinnier people, but there you go. Next up, you want to draw the hairline. So usually I just go with this kind of shape. And this will be what makes it so that you can differentiate between the front of the hair and the back of the hair, and also is how you make bald people not look terrible when you try to draw them. Since I'm drawing myself, I'm gonna go with this hair. You can pick whatever hair you want. And again, the ear ends up getting covered, which is fine. And then for the hairline, you just want to add some squiggly to make it not look as stiff. And for the back of the hair, draw however you want to draw it. For eyebrows, do whatever expression you want. I would just go with a casual one. And then clothing, I just draw on top of the body. Typically, something that you want to do is connect the armpit to around this line. So you'll have two lines here, one for the body, one for the armpit. And then for eyes, I typically just go with some light pressure into where the character is looking. And then any proportion fixing, like maybe if I think the character's head is too small, I just go in with select tool and then do this. It's obviously not going to look perfect. This is just the sketch. Now, I do not typically erase the sketch completely, but what I will do is put it down on a lower opacity, make a new layer, and then just draw over the most important parts. I'll often use a lighter pressure just for pen thickness purposes, but you can just use a thinner pen if you want to. Again, in, out, in, out. Sometimes I'll just do a straight line for this one and then do the usual. I like having this still a thing, even if it is used mainly as guiding lines. It just looks nice in the final line art. More than anything, this is for clarity's sake, less for perfecting your drawing. Because when it comes down to it, there's no such thing as a perfect drawing. So why stress about it? And that's just about how to draw, at least line art, like I do. Obviously, not everything's perfect, but that's okay, because perfection is overrated. If you want to see more content like this, of tutorials on how I personally draw, then you should probably like the video, and maybe share it with your fellow artist friends, I don't know. And maybe I'll do a video on how I pick colors. But with all that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!